Greetings, good people of the internet, and welcome back to Eternal Darkness. In the last episode, we were playing as the monk Paul Luther, who was investigating signs of heresy in the Oubliette Cathedral in Amiens. I actually used the break this time to build all the spells that I was missing and that I could also create, and we have some new ones. Also, I did empower all our spells so we can use them if it is necessary. So we have two new spells, which are, I think, the 8. Yeah, the 8 is the empowered version of the Trapper spell, which summons a zombie, and we have the spell 12, which is, I think it is called Bind in English, which gives us, well, kind of the control over an enemy. Well, no, it doesn't give us the control, but it makes an enemy friendly. But it isn't too useful, so we don't really need it at this point, but I've already built it. So the last thing that we have learned is that we should look for the 88 keys, and the 88 keys are actually inside this room. Okay, this wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, hello there.
The darkness is coming.
Oh no. Terrible rock band is coming to town. Okay, so examine the piano. Seeing the piano stirred up distant recollections of Paul Luther's story in Alex's mind. The echoes of those notes within the cathedral echo also within her own consciousness. Hands are drawn to the keys, almost of their own echoes. Let's play. And we get the next chapter.
Who are you?
I am your lord and conqueror.
What manner of forsaken being are you?
So, you can see me in my true form. You are a gifted man. Take this one and use him as the foundation for the pillar. He is special and should be given a special place among the suffering.
What the heck? So let's read the chapter and learn about what is actually going on.
Much has been written about the exploits of conquerors. In the context of history, one man's champion is another man's nemesis, hero or murderer. Much has been written, but what has not is far more interesting. The Tome of Eternal Darkness mentions a Venetian artist and architect of the Renaissance named Roberto Bianchi. Roaming abroad to find inspiration, he was captured by a warlord expanding his empire. He forced Roberto to use his architectural and engineering skills to construct a monument to his greatness. To complete his task, he must survey the site.
Survey the site quickly, dog, and maybe you'll live long enough to see the sacrament's construction. Did you think we would trust you, Bianchi? Even though you are graced with the generosity of our liege, you are still his prisoner. As I said, finish your work quickly, and maybe we'll drag you out of this hole.
Roberto must survey the ruins of this ancient temple. The rooms he must survey can be found on the map. Only when these areas have been inspected can the reconstruction begin. And now we are Roberto Bianchi, an architect, and we have to investigate. An ancient, they say city, it is more of a temple, and actually we have been here already. Burn. Good thing it was a green zombie, because I don't have a weapon yet. So, the areas with the earth crumbling down to the ground are the areas that I have to investigate. Let's do this. Or examine is the word. The structure around here shows signs of stress. It is far from sound. Perhaps with some reinforcement it might be able to suit the requirements of the monument. So let's go deeper into the temple, and a weapon, a safe. This is a scythe, a curved Arabic sword with a distinctive pommel. The scythe is a standard weapon of most Middle Eastern armies. This sword has a nice range. Ouch. He grows his head back. I cut it off again. Ha! Oh, the walls are already bleeding. I guess this is normal around here. And we get a crossbow again. And it is again a terrible weapon. Dust and rock falls from the roof through a fault in the stone. It is difficult for Roberto to assess how sturdy the place is, but it needs a lot of reinforcement if it is to be built upon. And finally we get the toad. Okay, trappers. And I don't want to use my magic attack, as I think it would hit the civilian in the back. And this is pretty terrible, because if you kill innocent people, your sanity will instantly go down to 0. But it is also a nice trick if you would like to, or if you want to see all the weird sanity effects. Just kill someone innocent. No, I want to climb. There's a big evil guy. Let's kill him with the help of some magic. No. No, not the book. Ah, damn it, this controller. Guy's headbanging like a retard, but this didn't help him too much. Oh, a spell. Yeah, that's the zombie spell which I have already built. So, the magic power was pointless, but the sword is still able to cut off some heads. Even with the wrong magical enchantment. Also, Bianchi has not too much magical power, so I have to take a look at it. Now that was interesting. Although crumbling in places, the structure of this area could be braced to provide enough of a foundation for the monument. And there's weird whispering and people following me, so I will run away, because those guys are all possessed by bone thieves. Die already. He's dead, Jim. And more bleeding of the walls, which should actually stop now as my sanity is back to normal. So, there's a nice key in the center of the room and we cannot reach it, but it is, of course, just an illusion. Nice key is nice. Let's take it.
Help me, Grandpa. I can't take this anymore.
Don't be so weak, Alex. You have a stronger mind than this. I didn't bring up a weakling, not a scared wretch of a girl.
You kept all this from me. You kept me alone. You shared nothing with me.
I couldn't. I could never give you the burden. I just wanted you to grow up. To grow up and leave me alone. Why couldn't you have been killed with your parents?
This can't be happening!
Oh, take a look at this. What is this? A sapphire effigy. You may remember we already found one of those earlier. And still, we haven't reached the point of the game where we actually need them, but I have to collect it. This is pretty important. And here is an interestingly glowing floor. The floor is full of magic, and if I step on it I will be damaged, so I need another spell that I have already created. The shield spell. Which gives me these little flying orbs, and every orb can take, I think, 2 hits. We have to cut this rope. Get over here. And there are some weird snakes attacking us. And the weird thing with these creatures is that they don't attack you. They just stare at you and drain your sanity. And what is also pretty weird is that they look quite a lot like the tentacles of Mantrok. But I think there is no explanation what they actually are. The dilapidated roof appears to be collapsing in several areas and will need a lot of reinforcement. The workers will have a daunting task ahead of them. So, let's go back. One more area to explore. And we need another shield. And if you remember, there was a zombie stepping on the plate and being crushed, and that actually closed the door. So, now? We have to summon our own zombie. I don't know. The color is not important. And we go on the plate. We could have just done this ourselves, but that wouldn't have been too healthy for us. There's a big evil guy. I don't like big evil guys. I will just be hit by a trapper. No, 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 no. Give Violet.
Venture no further, or be struck down where you stand.
Who? What?
I am the guardian of this temple, the Forbidden City. None shall enter except the chosen. Speak. You are the chosen. For many years I have tested those who came here, and all have failed. You are unaffected by the power I wield, and thus must surely be the chosen.
I?
Once I was as you were, confused and without answers, yet they came in time. Now my duty is complete. I can finally rest. My sacrifice was not in vain.
Roberto can feel the acidic touch of the artifact's magic reaching toward him. Using a shred of cloth from his robes to shield his hands, he retrieves the hovering artifact. It is the essence of Xel'lotath. And we get the ruby effigy that we collected with Karim. And now we can examine the last room. The room appears to be an incredibly ancient shrine to the ancients, as noted in the Tome of Eternal Darkness. Could this be what Robertus Scepter seeks to preserve with his monument? Roberto has completed his survey of the complex. Now he can return to the surface and report his findings to his captain. So, now we can go back. Oh, I think there was something in this room. On the altar, I think. No. The altar is not of relevance at this level. It is nice that the Guardian actually protects the essence of his ancient. I think the Guardian in this room actually changes in every playthrough so it fits the artifact. not too much happening now, because I killed all of the enemies on my way. Also, bleeding wards again.
And what news do you bring me, Architect?
The foundations are infested. Demons and devils. Many lives will be lost if you try to build there.
You have done well to complete your goal, Bianchi. The construction will continue as planned.
But the demons! You'd be insane to build there.
Silence, dog! What dwells beneath the Forbidden City is the very reason it was built. For you to understand, you must witness it firsthand. Let me educate you. Guards! Put this one with the others of the sacrifice. I am the Scourge of God, appointed to chastise you, since no one knows the remedy for your iniquity except me. You are wicked, but I am more wicked than you, so be silent. Now you, Architect, you are about to make your largest contribution to this project.
And another one of our ancestors died in the fight against the eternal darkness. If you would like to see how the story continues, please go on in watching my little Let's Play series here. But for now, I wish you a nice, gloomy and calm October's Day. See you next time.